Om Saram to our listeners. Welcome to Saturday News number 860. And today we'll be hearing a talk given by Dr. Sundar Iyer. I think it was given on the 27th of March 2020 in USA. So let's get straight into it. I'm Gulab Limore, and I offer my most humble and loving pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan, Sri Sathya Sai Baba.
Called as Unite and Uplift. The intent of this series is, as we are going through this pandemic around the world, it is our opportunity to think of Swami, not just for our own well-being, but for the well-being of everybody around the world. I would like to introduce the speaker for this evening. We are very, very fortunate to have Dr. Sundar Iyer, who is joining us from Ohio, the Cleveland area. Sundar Iyer is not new to any of us. He was a student of Swami's institutions for many years, starting in 1979 and all the way through his PhD, and then continued to teach in the institute through 1994. During these years, while pursuing an academic education, Sundar also had the privilege of learning powerful lessons in spirituality, yoga, and meditation, which he continues to practice and guide a number of people today. He earned a PhD in banking and finance from the Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. Above and beyond, he's a wonderful musician, as well as an inspiration to not only the students who come out of the Sathya Sai Institute, but also he's been a wonderful speaker, sharing his valuable insights from the experiences and his own personal practice with people around the world. Without much ado, I'll pass it on to Sundar.
Sai Ram, dear brothers and sisters, I offer my most prayerful, loving, grateful pranams at the feet of my beloved Sadguru, my beloved teacher, Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Before I begin, I'd like to offer my heartfelt gratitude and thanks to the Sai organization for considering me worthy of being part of this satsang and inviting me to speak. It is always with greatest pleasure and with the greatest sense of humility that I dare speak about this teacher who's affected millions and millions of lives around the globe in one lifetime. I believe only an incarnation, a divine incarnation, taken birth with a cause, as it is called the Karana Janma. You and I, let me speak for myself, take the Karma Janma, be born out of karma. I believe in my heart, after having seen him, been with him, heard him, lived with him, watched him, he is the Karana Janma. He came with a cause and he lived that cause. Was and is a perfect role model for us in all walks of life, especially in trying times like now. And therefore, when I speak about him, in the beginning, it's like a tongue-tied. I get my speech doesn't flow. And then slowly my heart begins to open up as I tune into his energy, and then it's tough to stop. So luckily, they also have a time limit. So thank you, Shrikant, for saying. And I've told him, please let me know if there's 5 minutes, feel free to interrupt. I want to thank Brother Harish and Sister Aparna as well. I know the YAs have been working so much, especially Shrikant and Aparna are working, I think, day and night to do this online. They have so many online stuff going on in addition to their own meetings. So kudos to y'all, really. Y'all are truly an inspiration. And thanks to Shrikant pushing me to do this Zoom meeting, which I always wanted to do something online someday. You know how that goes, that someday it's not a priority. But thanks to him, I started doing my own satsangs online as well, because we got some kind of system set up. So thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you Swami for making all this happen. This is how, thank you all for inviting me into your home, and Swami as well. I wouldn't like to believe that today is somehow a negative phase in our lives and we have to quickly get through this and go back to our routine. I believe oftentimes actually, in our own personal lives, and very rarely as a community in general, like what we are facing today, the universe opens up a chance, a reset button, a slow down, a slow motion, if you will. Take life slow. Think about where you're going, what you're doing. It gives us a chance, right? In our individual personal lives, when some sorrow or something unexpected happens. Sorrow is what? When your expectations are not met, you don't like it, and so there's disappointment, there's sorrow, dukkham as it's called. So in individual lives, when some incident like this happens, we sit back and start wondering what it is all about. Okay, the Vedanta calls it smashana vairagya. If somebody dies and you're like, oh my gosh, what is life all about? And you get vairagya, you get detached. But that's only temporary, and then you jump back into it, right? There is another vairagya, which is prasava vairagya. I believe, I don't know this. I've heard it from Vedanta, that when a lady delivers a baby, at that moment, she is like, no more. And then, of course, everything changes. And she wants to have more. So the point is, these vairagyas, there's moments of these kind of vairagyas or detachment or times for introspection. And detachment, I mean, not in a sense of a philosophical sense of detaching from the world and all of that. Detachment from your daily routine. It detaches you. Suddenly you feel like time has stopped and everything seems suddenly new, right? Such as what is happening now with us in our lives. And therefore, at such times, I like to believe that this is a wonderful opportunity that, to me, I think Swami has given me a personal opportunity to do something online. Don't start waiting for X and Y to come. Don't wait for this camera and that camera and this software. Just start doing it. Do. And therefore, here I am. This is how I take it. And I'm sure each one of you have taken time to introspect. If not, I plead you to do this, because this is not a time to wait, doing nothing, waiting to go back into your routine. Then you're missing a golden opportunity to take advantage of this time. I also believe, as Swami has taught me, that a time like this, a turmoil like this, and a crisis like this, if you will, quote unquote, an opportunity like this is a cleansing. We all are aware of this now, thanks to internet, thanks to technology, thanks to the globe. The world is becoming smaller and smaller. You can travel much quicker. You can talk to somebody almost at zero cost these days. At a blink of an eye, you're on a video call with somebody thousands of miles away. How does all this happen? Thanks to technology. But with that, what is the good thing about it? The good thing is we are able to tune into each other, and there is a general awakening, a spiritual awakening, if you will, actually is happening. We are more conscious about animal killing. We are more conscious about being vegetarians. We are more conscious about holistic wellness. We are more conscious about cosmic consciousness. We are more tolerant with other religions. We are well aware now, well informed of every teacher, every teaching, every interpretations of one quote, if you will, of Swami. How many people have experienced it in how many ways, and so on. So this general awakening is a golden period waiting to happen. Okay, so now you're saying, all right, so why this now? Why this? Why are we closing our doors to everyone then? Why this this virus? I don't like to call it virus. I call it raso vai saha. Vedanta declares the whole universe. He says God is rasa. Rasa. Don't ask me why rasa. It becomes like raso vai saha. God is described as rasa, as the very essence of feeling and beauty there. So this crisis is a churning that is required. When the Devas and Asuras got together in the Puranic lore, when good and evil came on the same platform, in other words, when you stop judging and you treat both equally, good and evil equally, then a spiritual churning begins to happen. Because we think equanimity is just, okay, treat everyone equanimally, whatever that is, equally. Okay. And then don't judge somebody and everything is going to be, I'm going to maintain equanimity. But equanimity is a constant state of churning. And guess what? So this symbolic understanding of the Puranic lore, where good and evil are to be seen on the same platform, because this churning of the Mandara mountain, the awakening of spirituality, did not come if only devas came in, only good, no, or only bad, no. Good and evil both had to join into churning. So both have a place to cause the spiritual awakening. Understand this. So whatever you decide as good, whatever you believe is good, whatever you believe is bad, both come together and churn this. So when you treat them both equally, the first thing happens is churning happens. And the first thing that comes out of churning is poison. And therefore, in this divine awakening that Swami has caused, I believe that in his entire life, if you analyze Swami's lifespan from 1926 to 2011, all the greatest scientific discoveries were made. Human rights movements were passed, animal rights movements were passed. So many nations got liberation from unnecessary suppression from foreign power and all of that. Wars came and went, and that kind of churning happened, and wars ended pretty much. In fact, when the Second World War started, Swami started his mission in 1940. So if some historian tomorrow, we are too much into it still, I think somebody needs to dedicate his entire life studying every moment of Swami with what happened in the world, and you'll realize that everything that he did had a cosmic impact. And so it is my belief that this avatar has caused some churning to happen, and that churning is happening. And therefore, this is part of that cleansing. It's part of that cleansing. And hold on, all I would say is, let's hold on to his feet. Let's chant his name. His name is so powerful that chanting the name loudly, singing it, let it reverberate in your mind and in your heart. And when you do that, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, the vibrations itself, I've shared these in my yoga lectures, and those are coming anyway. There's so much that happens in the Akasha, in your inner space, right? Akasha is, of course, everywhere. But in your inner space, you can cleanse it. And that from that space will come air and Agni and water. And then finally, manifestation of reality happens around you. So if your inner space is filled with positive things, then there is no room for fear. There is no room. You will only look at opportunities. You will only look at golden opportunities. Everything will represent an opportunity. Everything will be a chance of him expressing a chance for him to express his miracles in your life, and to draw you closer and closer to this divinity that we are all searching for. Whether you like it or not, we are searching for this divinity. Swami has opened that door for us. Being in his fold, he has opened that door. Coming under his umbrella of love, he will take care of us no matter what. However it goes, he will take care of us. So stop saying COVID. Say Govind. Stop saying COVID. Having said that, let me offer this bhajan. It's a beautiful bhajan, and I want you to listen to it. It's composed by Swami Maya's grandmother. This is Parvati Mahadev, and she sang in front of Swami for 40 years or over 40 years in Vrindavan. Composed hundreds of bhajans, many of them you sing today. And this is one beautiful one, not so popular, but it's beautiful. Govind bolo, Guru Sai bolo, Govind bolo, Guru Sai bolo, Gopal bolo, Guru Sai bolo, Gopal bolo, Guru Sai bolo, Govind bolo, Guru Sai bolo, Govind bolo, Guru Sai bolo. Shirdi Sai bolo, Shiva Guru Naam bolo, Shirdi Sai bolo, Shiva Guru Naam bolo, Satya Sai bolo, Sat Guru Naam bolo, Satya Sai bolo, Sat Guru Naam bolo, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai प्रेम साई बोलो पर ब्रह्मा बोलो प्रेम साई बोलो पर ब्रह्मा बोलो पति बाबा बोलो परमात्मा बोलो पति बाबा बोलो परमात्मा बोलो साई राम साई राम साई राम साई राम साई राम Sai Ram, Sai. Incidentally, this beautiful instrument here belongs to Swami. And some of you heard Brother Balu speaking a few days ago in Bhagavatam. I didn't get a chance to be online, but I just finished hearing his beautiful talk. So he and I were part of this play that we wrote for the 65th birthday, Swami's 65th birthday. And Swami decided the topic was unity. He said, and this was the beauty of that. He said, that is my favorite, and I'll come to this in a second. So he said, write a drama on unity. And he had called me and said, write a drama on unity, and I want more than 100 boys in that. So I want the Shanti Vedika stage to be filled with our boys. Everybody should act. So how do you do a drama with 100 boys? But we did it. We got a lot of villagers in the scene. And it was a fantastic play. So in that play, I had to do a Pandit's role. And somehow in many of Swami's plays, I was a Pandit or a teacher or something. Cheppinattu Chestara, which Srikant acted, was one of his first plays. I was the villain teacher who got stuck to his chair. Then the Abhaja Goindam, I was the villain Pandit. And then in this, again, I was this haughty, arrogant Pandit in this unity in diversity. That was the name of the play. And so, or unity is divinity. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it was unity is divinity. Anyway, so I was a Pandit in that play, and I'm doing a Harikatha, and Swami students come and then teach me a lesson in universal love and all of that. So in the Harikatha, I am singing, and Balu, Karanam, brother Balu, was one of my assistant chelas, if you will. So he's an amazing actor. He can send you into splits of laughter, which I'm sure he did in his satsang. And so he and I were doing this, and Swami would come for the rehearsal and enjoy it so much. And so what I was doing I was singing a song, and I was just using my hands like this. I thought it was just a simple drama, and I'm going to be far away on Shanti Vedika. Where am I going to go looking for this, right? And the day before the drama, Swami called me for some last-minute instructions. And then Swami asked me in Chitukulu, I think he call it in Telugu. So he said, Nigu Chitukulu unda niku. Chitukulu teppichava, he said. Because we had got some stuff from Dharmavaram, some costumes and all that. Then I said, Swami, ledu, I don't have it. Itle cheste chalu kada, Swami, I said. Dunnapota, atle cheyakudadu, Chitukulu undala, he said. And one day before, what is this? Where do I go running for Chitukulus in this thing, in Puttaparthi? And Swami said, Undu, wait, he said. And then he went upstairs. He came back with this divine pair. He gave it to me. He said, Petuko, Jagardeva Petuko. He said, Nadi, Petuko. So there's even a small, a piece of it is gone away. Anyway, I don't take this anywhere. But since you have come to my home and you allowed me into your home, I'm sharing this beautiful one. It's a great, I think Swami wanted me to continue singing his bhajans and chanting his name. So at home, when people come and sing for bhajans, I let people play, and they all enjoy the kirtans and satsangs. Unity is Swami's favorite word. He wants people united, because look at this Lord who is living in oneness, conscious of oneness, not unity, oneness. He's gone to the other level. So the next level from that is unity. Unless we feel completely and closely connected with no sense of separation, because people have different views doesn't mean they are good or bad. That's just a reflection of who you are. The beliefs I have, people reflect them. And some beliefs, based on that belief, I judge who is good, who is bad, which culture is good, which culture is bad, and so on and so forth. But with Swami in that oneness, he wants us to come to experience the highest state of spiritual enlightenment. Why? Because that is what you and I are seeking. We seek it in an ice cream. We seek it in a job. We seek it in $1 million in the bank. We seek it in a relationship. We seek it. What are we seeking? We are seeking happiness, right? If this goes, then we cling on to something that makes us happy. We seek it in our sleep. We love to lie down and go to sleep. We have to, because in that state, the I disappears and only consciousness remains. Swami wants us to take us there. And so he has provided the means to go there. He says, unite and serve. Get together and don't simply get together and do what? Serve. Get together and serve. So what is service? Service is whatever you think at that point, whatever you can do, like what we are doing now is service. You are sitting perhaps with your children, with youngsters in your family. And so you are allowing them and exposing them to something which they perhaps would not have exposed themselves to had this satsang not be organized. So you are doing a seva. We can get together and do something for the community. Like what is Sai organization doing now? They're not sitting and waiting for this crisis to go away. They're saying, let's use this crisis and bring Swami into everybody's home. And it's so amazing. So this is how you get together and serve. I think Sai organization is perhaps the only one. I could be mistaken, but I think they are the only one where nobody is working for any self-aggrandizement or a pat on the back. Nobody wants, no donor wants their names to be put on a plaque. Nobody wants to say, I am the one who paid for this hall. Please thank me at the end. Nobody wants to be thanked, actually. This is the kind of teaching that Swami gave us. It is so amazing, so wonderful that this was a teacher who set us a new path. He says, no, don't go start making spirituality a begging bowl. Don't say, give me funds, I want to raise a college. Give me funds, I want to start a school. No Sai organization, nobody representing Swami can do that, cannot ask and raise funds, period. If they're doing that, they're not part of Swami's fold. Because Swami was very clear about it. Why? Because he says, first give. You give and it'll follow. The universe will give you more opportunity to give. The river flows like that. The river doesn't stop and say, give me water, I want to flow to the ocean. The river just continues flowing. And as it continues flowing, more water comes in. Rain comes and the river runs. Even if it runs dry, it's only temporary. Of course, like what we have done now with in and around Chitravati and other places is where we build so much and we dig and destroy the environment. That's an exceptional case. But the river is flowing because it doesn't stop to think, what am I getting out of it? The joy is in participating. The joy is in giving. That is why, and I'll stop with this and I'll see if Srikant has anything to say. Saint Francis of Assisi says, from this moment, I shall not seek to be consoled as I will seek out to console. I will not seek to be understood as I will seek out to understand. I will not seek to be loved as I will seek out to love. For it is in giving that I truly receive. It is in loving that I am truly loved. It is in dying that I am born to eternal life. The dying is, of course, the dying of the ego. Don't worry about yourself, what I believe. When a group get together in a group and do something, so that unity is Swami's favorite. And whenever there was a program done by voice, he would be more happy because everybody's got together. What he saw was a Sardarji from there, a Nepali from there, a Gujarati from here, a Sikh from there, all different religions. Muslim boys came. So all these different religion boys are not thinking and saying, this is what I believe, this is what you believe. They all meeting in around one name, Sai. And that Sai removes all barriers. And then for the love of Sai, everybody comes together and makes an offering. So my dear brothers and sisters, we all have our lives to live. We all have families to raise. We all have jobs to keep up. But if you and I spend our lives just doing what a billion other people are also doing, then how are we going to tell our children or anyone else that I was with the avatar? I saw God in the face. I saw him alive. I saw him. I touched his feet. Many of you all did, I'm sure. How are we as devotees different from those who are not devotees? If we get angry at the same things, we get upset at the same things, and we go through the same troubles and turmoils with everybody else undergoes, your children is going to ask, so what? So what if you're a devotee? But what is the big difference? What the young adults, what the youngsters, what the youth, what the future is going to look at is role models. Arjuna, why is Bhagavad Gita so famous today? Because of one role model who carried that message, Arjuna. Krishna could have spoken. He chose Arjuna, but Arjuna practiced it. He was the role model. And then his 4 other brothers joined in. They were role models for the Bhagavad Gita. They lived that for the rest of their life. And so the Gita lived. The story of Krishna lives. We need to be role models for our children. We need to show them that we are strong in this crisis and in a crisis which could be tenfold this. Because of our faith, unwavering faith. I want you to look within and search for that strength. We all have that strength. We all have it hidden in uh, a small capsule inside our heart. Search for it and hold on to his hand. And I'm sure he will give you the strength and more reasons to be thankful. And so you can one day say, what else am I going to do with my life? How can I sanctify my life? Can I join in a bigger mission? Can I be a part of something big and play my role just for the joy of it with no expectations? That is what this is all about. This chanting is not to say, help you prevent from getting sick or something. This chant is just for the joy of it. That joy will take care of all the other things. All other things will fall into perfect alignment. All your needs will be met, even more than you can even imagine. Everything will be met. You don't even have to pray to him to do this. When the snake bit me in Puttaparthi, for those of you who don't know, and when they went and told Swami, I'm lying in the hospital waiting for antidote. Antidote is not available. This person goes and tells Swami, guess what he tells? He says, Sundar ka paamb karsandi anta. And immediately Swami there says, nor muskad, paamb kada the mullu. He doesn't even want to hear anything negative. He doesn't want to say that. And the moment he said that, the poison in my body got arrested. A snake, a cobra bite, which is systemic in nature, what's localized, which has never happened before. So by his sheer words, by his will, he can cause anything he wants. We are with such a guru. So don't let your faith waver even for a second. For me, if he gives me whatever disease, I will accept it as his prasadam, because I know there was a time he just wished it away. He willed it away, not even wished, willed it away. Because 2 years later, when he saw the mark on my foot and asked me, what is that? I again told him, snake. He said, for you it might be. For my mouth, I will never say it is a snake. It is a thorn, it's a thorn, it's a thorn. This is the guru that we are living with.
Okay, so we have come to the end of part 1. So next week we'll be hearing the final part 2. Saram to you all.